I legit just finished my presentation and I'm so happy that I got it over with, you guys. I was like so nervous. I practiced so much and it went better than expected. Like I didn't stumble as much as when I was practicing. I don't know if I got an A, but hopefully we get at least a B. Depends on how strict of a grader this professor is. I've never had him before. I've heard like he's a good professor. He's challenging, like he expects a lot of you, but he also like gives a lot so that you can be set up for success. So we'll see how it goes. I think my partner and I did a really good job. I think we met the goal of minimum 15 minutes. And I think we covered a lot of stuff. And we had like a question portion at the end where people would like ask you questions about what you talked about. And we had a fair amount. They were pretty varied. None of them were directed towards my portion. I think it was because like my partner got the interesting parts. But I did help him answer one of them. So I feel glad about that. I didn't want to be like totally quiet during that part. Class is not over yet. It is only 5:45. The class started at 4 p.m. and it ends at 10. So we still got a couple more presentations to go through. So it is Tuesday night. I just finished my optical spectroscopy class and I don't think I filmed anything yesterday, but we are starting off the week on a bad note because I stayed up Sunday night really late because my brother told me that he was going out to like a work party and that he was going to drink and he was going to need a ride back. He asked me to stay up. I stayed up until like 3 and then he was like, hey, never mind, like I don't need a ride. I ended up not drinking, so I'm good to go home by myself. And I was like, huh, I stayed up until 3 for nothing. I have class at 9. We'll see how that goes. I ended up waking up at 10:30. I slept through my alarm, did not hear it. I swear I did not hear it. That's a bummer. I'm really glad that at least for this week and next week at that school, we're still on Zoom, so I'm able to catch up on the missed lecture. But in the future, once we get off Zoom, this can't happen again. I can't sleep through lecture because this class is very important to me. I really want to do well. Like we're talking B minimum. And we'll see how that goes because that class is definitely challenging. The rest of Monday, I ended up just working on my presentation for today. I like finalized my script. I practiced it. Then I did like a test run with my partner, which I don't know if I like filmed a little bit of that yesterday. Like seriously, yesterday was like a blur. So today we did it. It went well, like I said. So the school where I'm taking that class, Fullerton, they announced that for week 3, we're going back in person. Really disappointing. I did not want to, but they said because COVID cases have spiked and they're going down, supposedly. They did provide a link, but I didn't look at it. We are safe to go back, or at least test it out. I'm not gonna lie, part of the reason I don't want to go there is because of my weight gain. My lab coat does not fit well anymore. It's very tight on me. And I know you could just buy another one, but I don't want to. Like, I want to lose whatever weight I gained and fit into the lab coats that I have. Obviously, I can't lose, 30 pounds by next week. So I'm gonna have to suffer for a bit. Yeah, it's a petty issue, but it's very, like, it's rooted in something very serious for me. That's really the only thing, keeping me from wanting to go in person. Obviously, the scare of COVID is another aspect to this. The reality is my lab coat is not gonna fit well. And if I try to sit down, like, I'm literally scared the buttons are gonna pop off. That's how bad it is. Plans for the rest of the night. You can kind of see my laptop over there in the corner playing the diet class. I took a minute to come over here and start this video because people were kind of like asking or like making, I don't know, like conversations that I didn't feel like I needed to be a part of. Once that class is done, I'm going to play catch up for my biochem class, which the class I missed yesterday. We'll also get ready for tomorrow morning's class, going over some practice problems so I would like to feel prepared and feel like, okay, I actually looked at them. The rest of the week, we're just going to be also preparing to go back in person at Fullerton. So I need to look over what experiments we're going to start on next Tuesday and, you know, get some things, you know, put together. Pomona, I don't think has mentioned if we're going back for week 4. Most likely we are, just because, again, Fullerton said they're going back. I believe Cal State Long Beach said that they're going back next week. So yeah, Pomona is most likely going back for week 4. I was hoping to save gas by not going to that school and to save money on the parking pass, because there is some sort of residential parking, but because I don't really know that area that well, I don't feel comfortable, you know, using that. So I need to buy the parking pass. That's the update so far. Hopefully the week gets better as we go. Good morning, guys. It is Wednesday morning and it is about, I'd say 8:40, just before my biochem class. I'm going to go move my car because today is street sweeping day. When I opened the door this morning, I thought that I could get away with not wearing a sweater, and as soon as the cold morning air hit me, I was like, nope. I closed that door, went back, put on a sweater, and here we are. I live in Southern California, so to me, cold is anything below 60 degrees. It is about 56 right now. I'm sure all of you guys on the East Coast and the Northwest of the country are probably thinking, oh my God, girl, that is shorts and tank top weather. Not necessarily complaining. I love cold weather. We just don't get enough here in California. Okay, I'm gonna get this done and we'll start the day.
Negative 218,000 joules, or minus 218 kilojoules. So very, very favorable, very, very exergonic.
My class just ended and all we did today was we went over essentially thermodynamics practice problems, although he's calling it bioenergetics. Not sure if it's like interchangeable or if this is more like, I guess, biochem based. But he did announce that Friday we have our first quiz on these types of problems, and I am not ready. Like, the math is really simple. It's just figuring out what to do with all the values and all the equations and stuff, which is where my issue lies. So I don't think I'll get to studying today, just because today is gonna be a really busy day. Like, now that I finished class, I need to go walk my dog, which is at my dad's house. And then after I see him, I'm gonna go make a return because it was my mom's birthday recently and I bought her something, but it doesn't fit. And then make a return for myself. So I'm going to the mall, basically, like really quick, just doing those things and then booking it. And then I have to watch a lab safety video for a safety quiz for my biochem lab, which is at 3 p.m. So I have a couple of hours before then. And start lab, I guess. And that's all we have for the agenda. If I have time, I'm also going to look at experiment 1, because, I mean, you're supposed to, so that you know what you're going to do. I don't know how exactly we're going to do this online. He hasn't really told us. So, actually, I don't even know if we have a lab manual yet. I need to look that up. So, that's it for now. This is my dog Wiley. He is a 4-year-old yellow Labrador retriever. This is us just going on a little walk. It was a pretty windy day, so I had to mute the background and just do a voiceover. So this is him going into the heel position because he knows that once we cross the street, he has to be near me to ensure his safety.
Is to weigh out a solid solute, put it in a volumetric flask, and then add water, dilute it to volume. Quite often, though, it's more convenient to have a stock solution that's probably more concentrated than you're going to be using. And then when you have a particular solution,
Hey guys, so it is Friday evening and I just thought I'd catch you guys up on what I've been doing the past like 2-ish days. The last time you sort of saw me was Wednesday when I was doing my biochem lecture and lab class. After lab class, I don't think I did anything besides just looking over the lab that we're gonna start next week. And then Thursday, I don't have any classes, so that day I was able to run an errand. I went to Nordstrom Rack to try on a couple of clothes. Like I sort of mentioned, I've gained weight during the quarantine and a lot of my stuff doesn't fit me anymore, including my lab coat. So I just wanted to see if I could find some shirts that I'm going to be using once we go back to school. Didn't find anything. Well, I did, but it fit me big because it was like a size too big. And then there was one shirt that I really liked, but it had like these huge poofy shoulders, and I'm like, I would get it if it weren't as intense, but it was just a little too much for me. Other than that, right now, so it's Friday, I had my biochem lab class. Sorry the camera is so shaky. I'm not using my tripod, I'm using my hand right now. We have a quiz due today at 11:59. So I'm going to be studying and then taking that later tonight. I also wanted to show you guys that on Wednesday I got my laptop back, my old one. So I just wanted to, I don't know, do a little like comparison. I'm obviously not a tech person, so I'm not gonna be going into too much detail, but just like the obvious stuff. So during the what's in my backpack, I didn't have my laptop in the sleeve to show you guys. So here it is. Here's the laptop sleeve. It is like a gray canvas sleeve. It is from the brand In Case. I'm not sure if you guys, there we go. You can see it. I think they sell this brand at Target, and they also have like a little website. I got it at Goodwill for like, it looked semi-new, so I was like, good deal. It was only like a couple dollars. It has like these, I'm not sure if it's real leather or like faux leather details, as well as right here. And then this is my really, really old USB that I bought more than 10 years ago, actually. It's a Hello Kitty. I got it at like probably Staples or like Office Max or something like that, and it's only 2 gigabytes. So really I don't use it for anything right now. It's mostly just for like, I guess, emergencies and aesthetic purposes, I suppose. But here's my laptop. I would show you guys what's wrong with it, but she's not turning on, so I don't know if my brother just didn't reconnect the old battery anymore or if she's just dead in terms of the battery. But yeah, this is my old laptop. I have 2 molecules on here. These are decals that I got from Amazon. It is serotonin and dopamine. And then this is a sticker I got at Pomona last semester. It says join the herd. It's like to promote vaccine numbers, I guess. And then here's the new one I got from Fullerton. And at first I was like, I feel like I'm kind of being paranoid or like seeing things. This, even though they're both 13 inches, I felt like this one was smaller. And I compared it right now, right? And I was totally right. You could see like there's a small difference all around. Yeah. And then other than that, it's like, it's obviously thinner because this is an Air and this is a Pro. So this one also weighs a little bit less. And yeah. I mean, now that I'm like holding this one feels like a lot heavier because I'm getting used to this one. I'm going to be trading her into Apple for a gift card. They will only be offering me $120, which really breaks my heart, but it is what it is. She's really old. She's 8 years old. So here's what they look like side by side. Not much of a difference, honestly, because this one doesn't have like the touch bar. I would say like these like hinges are kind of different. This one obviously says like, you know, MacBook Air. That one doesn't have it. And then the only like real noticeable difference is like the top row of these like commands. I would say this one, they traded it. So you have like the microphone, sleep mode, and the touch button. And then this one instead, obviously you have power, but you also have the keyboard brightness commands, which I kind of miss. Now on the new one, you just have it like on the screen. But yeah, other than that, it's the same. It is about 9 p.m. I've been studying for a little while now, and my quiz isn't due until like 11 minutes past 12. Not sure why that specific time, but that means I could be studying a little bit more before I need to take my quiz. But to be honest, I think my grade probably wouldn't change. The material it's easy and it's hard at the same time. The quiz is going to be on thermodynamics and redox reactions, and the work itself is very easy. It's literally plug and chug. Like there's an equation, you use the equation, like whatever values you're given, you plug them in, solve for the ones you don't have. The issue with me is I just don't know which ones to use based off what the question is asking, just because the wording is sometimes kind of, I guess, tricky for me. Like I said, I don't think studying more is really going to help me. This concept of thermodynamics is actually what lowered my grade from an A to a B in part 1 of biochem. So if I can just pass this quiz, I think I'll be pleased with myself, and then hopefully on other concepts I can, do better. Right now I'm just opening up all of the materials I'll need to reference to while I'm taking my quiz, and then hopefully we can knock it out of the park. We're using a program called Gradescope to upload our quiz. You basically can either just download the file, work it out on a piece of paper, take a picture of it, or take a picture, create it into a PDF, and then submit it to Gradescope. So what I'm going to be doing is downloading the file, opening it up on my iPad, writing directly on my iPad, submitting the file. Just so I save time, like, writing stuff down on another piece of paper. But I'm kind of nervous that maybe for some reason, like, Gradescope won't work with the iPad or something, so I also have my laptop here just in case. I do get a little bit of extra time because I have like disability services through my school. So if something goes wrong, at least I'll have a couple extra minutes to solve it. I also have my calculator here, water, I guess. I'll talk to you guys after it's done. I just took the quiz, and I hope it went well. That's really all I can say. There was 3 questions. All of them had 2 to 3 parts, and one question entirely was sort of like the curveball that he threw at us, because in our lecture notes, you could figure it out based off the information that was on the slides, but you really had to have like a deeper understanding of what defines like oxidation and reduction in order to, I think, fully get the questions right. Because on our notes, he basically just had like almost like a chart showing the oxidative states of carbon. But the reactions he had listed on the quiz, it was harder than what was on the slides. 2 more questions that were on the, like, I guess, study guide, like the practice problems he gave us on Wednesday. So that was really nice. I felt like I got them right. There was one question where I like started to do it, and then I was like, wait, I feel like this is almost like more conceptual, not really like I'm plugging numbers. It's more I'm showing almost like the theory behind a formula. So I hope that was what he was asking, because I ended up erasing my work because I was like, I can't even figure it out if I try plugging in numbers. So maybe that is telling me that it is more theory based than plug and chug. Because it isn't like automatically graded because it's handwritten, it's not like multiple choice, I won't get my results for, I'd imagine, maybe like a week. I don't really know how fast of a grader he is, since this is our first quiz and first like submitted assignment. Hopefully it goes well. Like I said when I started, as long as I pass, I think I should be grateful, to be honest. If I do even better than that, if I end up getting like a B, then I can celebrate. But if I get a C, then yeah, I can't complain. If I end up getting like a D or an F, then I can't cry about spilled milk. I am just gonna take it for what it is and try harder next time. Go to office hours a little bit earlier this time. So now the only thing I have left for this weekend is I need to obviously prepare for next week. And I need to start on my conceptual homework for this class. So I have like homework through Wiley Plus that is due on Sunday night. And I also have, I need to prep for my lab classes. Like I need to reread the experimental procedures. And oh, actually I also have homework and another quiz due for my Wednesday biochem lab class. So that'll probably do on maybe Monday. Monday seems like a good day to do it. That wraps up today.
I'm doing another voiceover for this part because my apartment was pretty noisy and you couldn't really hear me talking. So this is my lab coat. I decided to deconstruct it a little bit so that it could fit me properly on Tuesday, which is my first day back in lab. So what I did was I removed the bottom inseam in order to open up the fold on the buttons portion as well as the holes portion for the buttons. And I moved the buttons over about 1 inch to 1.5 inches to give myself a little bit more wiggle room. And when I did the same thing on the other side of the coat, you can see that I'm left with like 2 rows of holes per button. It looks a little odd, but I mean, no one's going to say anything. And if my lab coat happens to fall apart because of what I did, it's fine. I only need it for this semester and one more session for the summer. So as long as it holds until that time, we're good. And yeah, I mean, I'm happy I did this. That was pretty much all I did on Sunday besides finishing up my Wiley Plus homework for biochem. I'm really glad I started it a couple hours early because it did take me like nearly 2 hours to complete. And that wraps up this week, you guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed seeing what I did this week and come back for next week.